Hello and welcome back to the Rope Access and Climbing Podcast. I'm your host, Mikey Stevenson, and today I'm going to be covering the top 5 tips to becoming a rope access instructor. If this is your first time here, please make sure to subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast. So stay tuned. Step into your harness and get ready for a podcast about the vertical world. All right, well, let's dive into today's episode. So these top 5 tips are things that I found personally that I had to learn as I was becoming an instructor and working my way up through that process. I became a rope access certified instructor in 2015, been teaching since 2014. This has been my primary job and my primary focus over the last 6 years. And the biggest thing I have to say is your personal development is by far the most important thing you have to think about. All right. Now, the first tip that I have here is if you want to become an instructor, you better know the material. You got to read all the documentation that pertains to your certification. If that's IRATA, then you make sure that you've read the International Code of Practice from cover to cover. You also have read the Training Assessment Certification from cover to cover and understand what's all involved with training. But it doesn't stop there. You also have to read all your company policies and procedures. You can't just take this stuff for granted. You have to understand what you are training to and how the company that you're training for wants it conducted. At the end of the day, you are not an individual here as an instructor. You have to teach according to the training company's procedures. Tip number 2 is be patient. I know it sounds pretty self-explanatory, but at the end of the day, you have to understand that everybody learns differently and everyone learns at a different pace. There's going to be a lot of things that you will find throughout your career as an instructor that is repetitive from person to person. These are common faults that we find within our industry. So be patient, take your time, and everything will be fine. Tip number 3, be patient with your training. Do not try to jam everything down their throat on day 1 or day 2, especially for level 1s. This is an extremely high intensity course for a lot of people. So both physically and mentally, a lot of people struggle with a standard 4 or 5 day training course. So take your time, use the entire week, and pace the information that you're giving to them. Tip number 4, teach the course you need to teach, not the course you want to teach. I know as an instructor, you want to give everybody all the information and all the tricks out there. But at the end of the day, you can't do this. We're training to a syllabus and to check boxes off. So make sure that you're teaching just the information that's required for them to be successful come their assessment or evaluation. I know it's sometimes hard to kind of back off and not try to give information, but at the end of the day, we're training somebody to be successful. We're not training ourselves to be better. And final tip number 5, be humble, okay? You don't need to brag about your jobs, or you don't need to brag about how good you think you are. At the end of the day, you're the instructor. They already have this sense of respect and understanding stepping into the course, and you are going to be the one conducting the course. All right? So be humble. Every question is valuable, and everybody has a different perspective. If you can't take criticism and if you cannot take different perspectives from these individuals that are walking into the course for the first time, you will not be successful as an instructor. At the end of the day, teaching courses is selfless. You're not there for yourself. And if you are, you don't belong there. Teaching is all about the people that you're trying to convey information to. Stay level-headed and stay humble, and you will be successful. All right, well, thank you very much for tuning into today's episode. Short little episode here, top 5 tips that I learned coming up as an instructor. Some of these ones I struggled with a little bit more than others, but these are the top 5 things that I relay on other people that are looking to be instructors. If you like this video or this episode, make sure to like it, show the support, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, follow us wherever you get your podcasts, and I'll see you on the next one.